Right, sorry about that. A little bit of technical difficulties there. Zuleika has agreed to meet with the group and handed over a stone to Aster, which just looks like an ordinary rock. Vasily has come out holding a small leather pouch, which they are about to give to Misha. Yes, I think this belongs to you.
Let's see.
Yep.
Hey, Lucian.
Yep,
Is this what I think it is?
Yes. Yes. Soon. Now, in fact. Open the bag, 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 open the bag. Do it.
Bag.
Inside are what look like several large pieces
not
of
yours.
shards of glass.
Stares down Tarnish. Not yours.
As the bag opens, the Lucian goes, "Draw me."
Like one of your Barovian ladies.
Wow.
Sorry.
I enjoyed it.
What, you mean hold you or place you on the ground?
Just pull me out in your hand, take me out the sheath, and light me.
Let's do that then.
Yep, as you draw the blade and ignite it, the crystal shards begin to
targeting anyone.
Yeah, begin to rise out of the bag and float around it before forming around the sword and forming into the shape of a blade. They seem to hover and shake for a moment before then flying all up the blade as the blade lengthens and form at the end as in a spiky sun shape lit with sunlight. As your sun sword has now achieved its final form, which I shall drag onto your sheet now.
I am so grateful for all these magics that we don't have to make this jigsaw puzzle on our own. And then figure out how to attach these puzzles.
So, your sun sword now is, well, actually no, better way of doing this, thinking about it. It is now, although magical tends to overcome this thing, it is now also considered silvered. For one. However, it now has a secondary form that you can ignite it into, which I have put onto your sheet. Excuse me, why did that not drag onto your sheet when I told it to? Drag onto the sheet. There we go. Which obviously doesn't count as a separate attunement thing. It is now, it forms into the form of a flail. And said flail, when in flail form, has a 15-foot reach.
Whoa!
That is the main difference with it. However, because it is changing from what is effectively a longsword to a flail, whilst in flail form, it will have the same mastery as your silvered flail. Whereas in Sunsword form, it would have a more appropriate one to Longsword. I can't remember what the default Longsword one is off the top of my head. But yes, you now have a Sunflail with, as I said, the ends of it are is essentially, so it's like an undulating blade, and the end of it forms into a sphere with the crystal shards forming like the spikes of a flail, but also forming like a sun shape.
Mm.
Did you just give him basically the Belmont bloody family whip?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
I basically have just given him the Morningstar whip, yes.
Well played.
Mm.
You were describing it, I was thinking, hold on.
Yeah. And as it forms, the tendril of the flail wraps around you, and the head almost seems to float in front of your face for a moment, Misha, as Lucian speaks into your mind. If you like, I can return you to a human form, or you can remain as you are.
I've actually grown accustomed to this new form. Maybe just to spite my father, I'd keep this.
Honestly, it's an improvement. And then they return back and basically just switch themselves off. Now I have all my memories back. Good times. And now I have even more reason to destroy Strahd.
Oh. How many more reasons
Yes.
do you need?
Well, apart from him being an evil scumbag who I'm sworn to destroy, kind of a thing. I mean, destroying evil, bringing light to the darkness, kind of the purposes of a sun sword or a dawn sword, I guess, at this point, because I'd be bringing true sunlight. But there's vengeance, of course, for the death of my original wielder and, the breaking of my blade, and they keep me locked away in a temple and splitting my soul and cursing my friend. Well, technically I curse my friend by inhabiting you, but, things, reasons. But yeah. Yes, and then all of this. Yes. Definitely deserves to die. As does your father. Possibly your mother as well, but father for certain. But I'll leave that one up to you.
Oh yeah, I need to say hello because he has a very fancy shield.
Yes. A shield which will achieve its true power once the beacon of Arkenvost is lit.
I need to go back to Vallaki and deliver these children somewhere safe. We can send a missive to Kresk.
Are these children from Vallaki, not from Kresk? They're from all over the place.
They're from a mixture of the three towns. In a way, they're lucky that we got them before the hags did. But
Sure, Lucian could look after them. And we can send a
Wait.
missive to Kresk.
Why am I looking after people?
Fatherly ship.
Ah. Yes, of course. Not the pie-eating one, the other one. But yes, as I said, the children are yours to take with you. Vallaki seems like a wise destination. Their reinforcements recently have made it a much safer place, providing the children stay away from the waters.
There are some wells that should be safe to use if the priester is doing his job right.
Yes, but the lake is still a danger to any
Yeah.
who approach.
But if you would like, I can ensure you get to speak to the leaders of Vallaki. And if you speak to them, I'm sure Kresk would also give you the time of day.
That would be appreciated.
Are you going to stay here to help the pack, Vasily?
I probably should, at least to keep them out of trouble for the time being. They'll need all the strength they can get, even to survive, especially if Zuleika is traveling away, even for a short time.
Understood.
Wait, why are these children still in the cages? Up. Open.
I was just going to say, while
Yeah.
all this has been going on, Octavian would have been sort of opening the cages and sort of calming the children, letting them know they're safe, that sort of thing.
Yeah, Katia would too.
They're very quiet, but they seem... Their eyes are watering with tears of perhaps joy or fear out of, oh no, maybe something worse is about to happen because all these scary non-human people have turned up. But
Yeah. Probably not a good idea to have the 9-foot-tall hippo opening cages.
We should probably take a short rest here and then head back to
Mm.
Vallaki.
yes,
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
welcome to rest.
It gives you time to prepare, Miss Zuleika.
Yes, it will be my first time.
Is that an adult human woman? Who's that?
I don't know.
Wicked Strahd in disguise.
Yeah.
I
would
ignore
know.
that.
I would know if that was Strahd, because Strahd is an undead. And I can see undead.
Unless, of course, he's hidden himself by magic.
I would see his outline still.
No, there are ways to avoid that.
Weird.
I don't
Okay.
see anyone right now. I just see Mountain.
For example, you probably need to click on your token, which is here, but for example, out of character, Nistel's magic aura, you could make there appear as a non-undead. So then they wouldn't be picked up by that spell.
Oh, that's true.
And there's probably a couple of other ways as well, but that's the one that immediately comes to mind. Purely because I wanted someone who was trying to use Investure of Flame to then have Nistel's magic aura on themselves to pretend to be a fire elemental.
By someone, you mean weird. What's her name?
Irina.
Irina, that's the one.
Yeah.
How do-
yes.
How do the kids look? Do they look like thin, hungry, that sort of thing?
They look maybe a little bit thin, but mostly they look sad and scared. I mean, just sort of look at the pictures of them.
Oh, yeah. We said we were going to take a short rest, right?
Yeah.
I'll make a quick food meal for everyone. I've
Meal.
got rations and stuff. Throw it in a pot with some water and make a very cheap, easy stew.
Oh.
Smelling the
I'll-
food during your short rest, which you can all take, when Censure and Kellen approach.
Oh, I'm making sure there's enough for everyone, even the the wolves and
Yeah. And Kellen's clutching the little toy of Misha, which now has a flail that seems to glow slightly as the torchlight hits it.
Oh.
It must be an Oblinsky.
It must be a Blinsky.
It's no fun, it's no Blinsky.
Uh,
Out of curiosity, James, is any of these children the one that Octavian was looking for back in the village of Barovia, Mary's kid? Because I still have that doll.
No.
Right.
yes. No, yes. Gertrude.
Gertrude
Yeah,
or something
none of
like that,
these.
wasn't it?
Yeah, none of these are that one.
Okay. Worth a try. That'd have been so nice.
Aster will step back away from the kids to avoid causing too much stress.
Octavian's gonna look at the one closest to him and sort of gesture to Aster and go, "He's not scary, he's fluffy."
I will also say, despite the sort of fear and sadness of these, there's also, to some extent, an emptiness behind the eyes,
Oh.
which you've seen of many Barovian people.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, they're husks. What's it called? It had a
I
name.
believe. Oh God, no. Some reason my brain's saying soulless, but I'm not sure that's it. Now that I'm saying it, let me just check. It'll be in my notes.
Isaac. What's it? The guard was one of those.
Isaac, yeah.
Isaac, yeah.
People without a soul.
Uh,
It might have been soulless.
Yeah, soulless is the term. Yes. Yes. Yes, unfortunately, most of these children are reincarnations. When a being with a soul dies in Barovia, it can never truly escape until it's reincarnated into a newborn. And it can take decades for a bodiless soul to find a host. Though it's often quite easy to tell when someone's been reincarnated, as they tend to be share a lot of visual similarities to their original selves.
Interesting.
Yes.
It doesn't mean they're any less worth fighting for. A life is a life.
No. They tend not to cry except in the most extreme of circumstances.
I'm sure Blinsky will be able to help them find some joy.
It is perhaps a benefit, though, to them in a way, as bad as that might sound. For Strahd does not draw nourishment from the soulless.
It means they will be, once they're back in town, they'll be mostly safe. That's good.
Yes. Yes.
perhaps the division may be able to find a way to do something for them eventually. I'll put it on our dockets.
Yes. Yeah. Everyone who wants a short rest can have a short rest. I'll do one for Greed, because he's a warlock, and if a warlock doesn't want a short rest, what are they doing?
They die. What?
What so many low numbers on his hit dice. Oh no.
Yeah.
We got a lot of those hit dice.
Yeah.
Yes, I will.
Greed is now back in somewhat fighting shape.
I should probably end all my
And
concentrations.
and immediately fireballs all the children.
No.
That's
Oh
great.
no.
Yeah.
Like that's Greed appears in like funny text at the bottom as like laugh track plays.
Yeah.
Yep.
Greed will, I'm imagining, will probably try to approach the treasure beneath the statue, but Zuleika will stop them. Or at least offer reason to stop them. They might not necessarily stop, but I'll leave that up to Cam, and I'll discuss that with them. But those who take treasure from Mother Night will gain no benefit from rest. As they will be haunted by horrible dreams, tormented from dusk till dawn. And even returning a stolen item will not end the curse.
Aster will walk over and place a few gold coins on the pile and just sort of lean down and say, I may not be that which you wish, but you protect my friends and support Lady Katia. As such an offering is one I make.
The coins seemed to glow briefly, as if they were lit by moonlight before fading.
Then Aster will step back to the corner and sharpen their blades during the short rest. If anyone wants to speak to them, they are available.
Katia probably found the I feel like after dealing with the kids for a little bit, she probably was helping Octavian, passing out food, making sure that they were okay, calming them down. I imagine Katia has like a very, a part of me thinks that she would be good with kids, but then I think about it and no, she hasn't really interacted with kids very often. She's trying her best to be a comfort and be, there, but she can't really connect with them. She didn't really have any friends as a kid, and so she never really was around other children, ever. And I feel like after a little bit, she kind of gave up, just being like, okay, Octavian's got them. I'm just being a bother, And I think she would have gone off to a corner to pray Like seriously pray. Before she was praying like she does this thing where sometimes like, you know, we'd be traveling and stuff and she'll do like a really quick prayer like under her breath, but like it's just always a thing with Katia, but she hasn't really sat down and did like a proper prayer in a hot minute. She'll just go, dearest Mother Night, we did it. We killed him. And the pack seems to be doing better already. It's a little interesting to see others that believe in you. It seems so different. I hope one day we can be united. I don't know if they trust me, but it seems that everyone else got a handle on things. I pray that these children find better lives, and that they will finally know peace. I know, however, peace can never truly be achieved until he is gone. Till Strahd is gone. I'm choosing not to be scared of him anymore. I don't really think I can afford to be scared anymore. Please give me the strength to help my friends and to help the people of Barovia to find your light. Amen. Yeah. I'm not very good at praying myself.
Bravery is not the absence of fear. It is having the strength to conquer that fear and carry on regardless. It's just some words you hear echoing in your mind.
She'll go find Misha. Hey.
How are you doing?
Better. Thank you for earlier. You kind of saved my butt, so, you know.
The part with the direwolves? Or the part before?
Both?
You're welcome.
Don't worry, I'll get you back one of these days.
Oh, I thought this was payback for at the tree.
Do you remember in at the lab, you got caught by the carpet?
I hate
I was so scared.
that carpet.
I was so scared. But looking back on it now, it's kind of funny.
Oh, next time that carpet is gonna burn in the 9 hells.
I'll help you burn it. I got Sacred Flame up and ready to go anytime. Sorry.
Wanna see how Kellen is doing? The pup.
Sure. I'm not great with kids, but I can try.
He is sitting there playing with his Misha doll. Overseen by a much kindlier face than what this art depicts.
Oh,
Yes.
How does she react to us? Oh, is she overprotective or?
She watches you warily as you approach, but doesn't say anything. Kellen seems to mostly ignore your approach. He's busy
Mhm.
playing with his little Misha doll, who is, which now seems to have the ability to swing the little flail out, and it extends a bit before coming back. He seems fascinated.
Hey, Kellen.
He looks at you, then looks at the toy, then looks at you, then looks at the toy, and it's just like,
Woof.
Are you a hero?
I would say so.
Am I?
Yes, you are. I think
I
you
hope I
are.
can be.
Only heroes get well, you're either a hero or a villain, because only heroes and villains get toys made out of them. That's what Mummy always used to say.
Where did you get that toy?
I got given it when I won the fight.
Who gave it to you?
He points to when Sensia, the woman with him.
Mm.
Does she look like she likely didn't approve of what had happened and she's trying to make it as right as possible? Like, is she like sheepish?
Give me an insight check, I guess. Anyone who wants to.
Insight.
Yeah, got it.
Check. Nope.
It's hard to tell. Unless you're Katia. In which case, she... what's the way to describe this? She seems like perhaps she wasn't on either side, but would do whatever's best for the young ones.
Mm-hmm.
So perhaps you would get the idea that she wouldn't have been happy with what's done with the young, and is perhaps glancing over them, and an occasional, ever so slight smile appears on her features for a brief moment. Whereas Kellen is fawning over Misha and being like, "You must be a really big hero, because I've not even seen any toys of any of the other famous people. Like, I've not even seen a toy of, like,
Well, what would you consider to be a hero?
someone who beats the bad guys,
Well,
saves the nice people."
well, that's what we all do.
We should ask Blinsky to make more dolls.
Octavian will call over. I've got a Blinsky doll if you want it, Misha.
A hand puppet is not a doll. You know that.
You tell that to a child and they will tell you otherwise.
Isn't that thing cursed, though, Octavian?
And it's not a hero, it's the villain.
Exactly, you've got the hero there, you can play the villain. But yes, Aster, it is cursed.
Mhm.
That's why I wouldn't give it to a child.
When I grow up, I'm going to be a big hero and save all the children.
Well, you should look
So,
very careful at Vasily then. He can teach you some things about being a hero.
He's very good at it. He did everything he could.
The travelers have a good point, young Callan. Vasily has done all he can to protect people, and he brought the heroes here in order to defeat the bad guys. Yeah, Vasily's good, but he doesn't have cool horns. I like the horns.
I look at Vasily to see
He's
if he
got a
gets
point
a
there.
out.
Oh,
So Vasily does have a cool jacket.
He does have a nice jacket.
yeah, not when he forgets to take it off.
Ew.
I don't know what you're on about, brother. I never forget to take my jacket off in when it's appropriate to do so.
But
Do you have a name for your doll?
Hitty Fight Man.
Kitty Fight Man. That's
wow.
a good name.
I'm going to ask, how old is this kid at the moment, roughly, from looking at him?
Well, they're currently in wolf form, so it's hard to tell, but maybe like 4 years old. Actually, no, I might actually be making that up and making that seem worse. Let me just double check, because I do
Oh,
think there's an
no.
official
Yeah.
answer.
Oh no.
Wait, are
10.
you
He's
saying?
10.
Oh, he's 10?
Okay.
Oh.
He's 10.
You're
Okay, that's slightly better. That makes him slightly older than Lucian.
Mm.
And Lucian has a weapon already.
Yes. This little one was taken from outside Barovia.
Really?
So, even if we wished for him to return home,
You'd have to defeat
it would
the
not be
myth.
possible. Yes.
Well, for all the ill that's been done, I'm glad you've taken care of him here. He would have likely died out in the mist.
Yes. It is my duty to protect the young ones. I may not have agreed with Kirill's ways, but I kept the ones that survived safe.
All the others are from these lands, right?
The ones here currently, I believe so. We've not had the free reign to travel outside the mists recently.
It's likely due to Strahd wanting to keep you all on
Leashes.
Carol's leash.
Hmm.
It sounds like a weird request, but did any of these children ask to stay here?
No, they don't seem to have much will of their own.
Should danger come to this cave, and you all need to escape, go to Kresk and ask, and let the Burgermeister there know you're with the Mistaken. Ask the Abbot in the Abbey, and you should be at least somewhat safer there. He seems good, if a little eccentric.
Katia tenses up
Hmm.
and looks at Aster when he brings up the abbot. If not Cress, Valaki.
Whichever would be safer by the roads.
We will keep that in mind. I'll keep them
Even
safe.
better, if the beacon ever were to be lit, I'm pretty sure you can make home at the old manor.
Agree. Our home is yours. Vasili's one of yours, and he's one of ours. Once the beacon's lit, it would be a safe place.
They nod. Right. I'm all ready to go when you are. Should we wish to travel to Vallaki and get these children to safe as anywhere can be, I suppose.
You see Aster stand up and grab Tarnish by the back of his throat right before he pounces on Argus.
Oh. Argus is just flying up. Nope. Oh, or maybe not.
I'll have. Oh no!
Oh no!
Wait, it's +5. That's still a fail. No!
Yeah.
But
Tarnish
Argus-
successfully pins down Argus.
Tarnish, no. Drop it.
If I should die, I shall go out in a blaze of glory, Argus says.
And then Argus
You're not
just
gonna
disappears.
die. Just...
And then, yeah, they just vanish.
Tarnish looks
Wait,
behind
what?
them, like somehow Argus might be there, and then like looks behind them as though Argus might be, and then begins spinning because obviously Argus must have got behind them somehow.
Because I imagine by you saying they disappear, you banish them to their pocket dimension.
Yes.
So that's something you can do.
And then a few seconds later, he appears in the cage. That's still open, of course.
Yeah.
At that point, if the cage is to protect him, not to keep him in.
And that's the thing with familiars. A cage can't keep a familiar inside.
My fortress is here.
Hi,
Yes,
Argus.
yes.
Hello.
As Tarnish goes to Argus, Octavian's going to grab hold of him by the tail.
Yep.
Athletics, would that be, James?
Yep.
With advantage. I'm going to need it, apparently. Yeah, god damn.
Yeah, Tarnish is able to slip out of your grip.
Should we
Gonna
get
kill
going?
I'm going to kill that dragon. I'm going to kill it.
And Argus sort of gives a gesture, like an almost beckoning gesture to Tarnish.
While the door of the cage is still open.
Mm-hmm.
Literally come and get me.
Yep.
What
What are you doing?
I love him.
You do manage to grab Argus, but then Argus, and I'm imagining, just sort of gives Misha a quick look as Tarnish leaps
Argus
forward to grab him,
disappears again.
and then reappears and closes the cage on Tarnish.
Yeah. Okay, where were we?
We're heading out. Right?
Just for the
Yes.
fun of it, Octavian's going to lean against the door.
Silly dragon. Kellen chuckles.
Tarnish, you're in timeout.
pretty strong check. Octavian,
Is
give me
is
an
that enough
athletics
to
with
move?
advantage.
I was going to say, is that enough to move his weight?
Give me an athletics with advantage to see if this shove is effective. Well, surprisingly, he actually does manage to push the door open a bit.
I imagine it's just enough to get his neck through.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to lean back on it, even put a bit more weight on it. While he got his neck poking through.
Enough
Okay.
fun and games. Let's head off before someone gets hurt or worse, expelled.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Oh, before we leave, Kellen,
Yes.
outside there can be some difficult people that might say you're a monster. They're lying.
I am cute and fluffy.
Yes. And you're a
Octavian's going
person, just like the rest of us.
to look at the woman. I forgot her name. Sorry.
Wensensia.
Yes, her. I'm not even going to attempt that one. At what age do you start training your young here?
Well, probably when they come of age, so about 13, we would normally begin the training.
Octavian's going to put his hand under his jacket, sort of to his the back of his waist, and he'll pull out the hand axe that he picked up from the tree.
Yep.
And he'll put that down in front of the kid for when you're old enough.
He looks at the axe in surprise, but nods and thanks you, and will lick your hand affectionately.
Right, so hard not to poop him on the nose.
Poop.
You just sort of
Right.
affectionately sort of pat him on the head. You go.
Yep.
You're a cute kid. Go on. Off you go.
Should have
And,
enough room on the wagon for all the children. The rest of us may have to walk.
Yes. So be it if we have to.
Tarnish, stop mucking about. And Tarnish, whose neck is still in the door, opens the door.
I do not mind walking.
Ooh,
a black dog.
she looks like a grim.
Yeah, or if you prefer.
She's rad.
Red.
Octavian's going to come over to the group of kids here, sort of kneel down to their height, and put his hand out to one of them and go, "Come on, let's get you back."
They follow in an almost obedient manner.
Oh, I hate that.
That I shall take you back to the map, to the sounds of bad flute playing. The heroes came, they took the kids, and now they're no longer on the skids.
As we go past, Octavian will call for and say, I think there's some stew left in the pot for you.
And they offered me dinner. That makes them the winner.
He'll say the same to the twins as he walks past them.
Stew, meat, vegetables, delicious.
It's jerky, but it's all we had to hand.
But there are other things more delicious, and they just look at you, Octavian, as you walk out.
Wait a minute, are they hitting on Octavian?
He has a wife and kids.
He'll just go, "It's too much fat on me, unfortunately."
That can be exercised away.
Hey, everything, that's my domain.
And Octavian quickly walks away.
His cheeks are flush. He's turned pink.
No, he's just more thinking, oh dear God, no. Get out of here.
Seems the hungry, hungry hippo does not have the right appetite, sister.
I've already eaten my fill.
Another time, another life, perhaps.
Yeah, you're about 40 years too late. He still keeps
Wow.
walking.
We prefer our meat well aged.
Oh, but yeah, he's just gone.
At that
But,
point,
yeah.
that's when he pulls his hat down over his eyes, like
Yeah, like adjusts the monocle and just the hat down.
Yep, and with that, you get the kids and potentially some of the others on the wagon, and Zuleika helps pull the wagon as an additional wolf.
I imagine
Vasily
that.
offers you the farewells.
Yep. I will update your information at the division when I get there, Vasily.
Mm,
No longer missing.
yes. Now, rather than missing in action, I suppose you can put Monster in action.
It seems like the lot of us remaining light brands have ended up a bit monster.
Hmm. Sometimes you need to embrace the darkness to make the light shine. Yes, you begin your travels. And in the distance, as you're traveling, you'll notice, those with a decent enough past perception will notice you're being followed at a distance by some of the wolves from the cave.
Hmm?
Sense.
They're keeping an eye on things and making sure that most dangers won't reach us. Zuleika explains.
Yeah.
Thank you. That fight took a lot more out of me. I hope. I don't know what more I could do.
Aster might occasionally go out and run with the wolves alongside, like helping them to ward off danger.
Yes, eventually you do manage to arrive safely back at Valarki. And my brain is not seeing my Valarki map for a moment. I'm just being blind. As you return back to Valarki, and are once again approached by the guards with their heavy crossbows at the ready.
They returned with the children and a representative who helped us save them.
Yeah, I'm going to say that probably Zuleika would have shifted back before, you got too close, so...
Yeah, of course.
You know,
She wouldn't want
not
to
immediate.
shoot them beyond what's
Yeah.
needed.
Oh, that picture's the old picture. It has Palmar in it, not Katia.
Yes, it is. Let me get the new one.
Damn. I guess I agree, Mrs. Palmar, but damn.
Yep. So much that he secretly disguised Katia as them. Where's my party token? I'm being blind. There it is. Oh no, that's still the old one.
It's fine.
It still
Which is
the
weird,
old
'cause-
one.
Because when I hover over it, it's not.
Okay.
I'm gonna say Misha's blue there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is the. That's also in the new one.
Oh yeah, you're still blue in that one too. Yeah, you're right. There you go.
There you go. But yeah, the guards allow you in. And you're able to enter the town. And I'm guessing you're heading straight to the church?
Church, and if any of the kids' families are looking for them here in Vallaki, we'd probably stop by their homes if we could.
Okay.
If we knew, but that's only if we knew which.
Yeah,
Parents
Irina would
versus children.
know. I'm sure Irina and the guards would know if there's anyone in particular. But
Okay, back to the church map then. Where party audio.
Oh boy.
Last
Last time I was here.
actually. Yeah, let me drag you guys back on because I think that's the players.
Two Wovers and two Argoses.
Yes. There's always a need for more of them.
Yes.
There's also two Katias.
those are on the card.
I'm sure Misha excited about that.
I'm not gonna complain.
Hey, Karch would probably prefer if there were two Mishas.
And there's also 3 Lucians on the map.
Yep. Technically.
Odds are one of these kids is also named Lucian.
Oh my god. Or Vasily.
Wait, is there another Lucian? What?
No, that's one of them is called Lucy.
Oh, it's Lucy.
Lucian.
Lucy.
Lucian.
Lucian.
Yeah. Welcome back, Mistaken. I see you have brought visitors.
Is this Father Lucian or is this
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 is
is Father
Irina.
Lucian. Oh.
Oh, no.
Irina? Okay, cool.
Yeah, because she's the one who's here.
Irina, good to see you.
It's good to see you all as well.
This is Zuleika. She assisted us in rescuing the children. She and Vasily were able to delay the plans of the werewolves long enough for us to save them.
Then you have our gratitude. What brings you to town, or are you just escorting them?
Well, we were escorting the children here, but I wanted to bring forth the possibility that Miss Zuleika and her pack may be able to help the towns as well. They're in dire straits of their own, thus the desperate situation they were in, and the manipulations their old leader were able to achieve. If the townsfolk were willing to hear them out, they may be able to provide assistance. And if any volunteers were wishing to, the pack could also increase their numbers in a way that is safer.
I will have to consider it, but
As well as
and
they could
discuss
help,
it with the townsfolk.
as well as the woods would be much safer to hunt with their assistance.
I'll be right back, guys. Sorry.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
We may be able to target Strahd's dire wolves.
There are some houses outside the town's walls which are currently uninhabited, which we could consider providing to the werewolves until the people feel more comfortable with them. I wouldn't want to immediately bring them into the walls. I'm not sure many of them would agree to that, but to the outskirts and with some monitoring from the guards, if acceptable, I think that might be a fair compromise that the town might accept.
Is that agreeable, Miss Zuleka?
It is having proper roofs over our heads and a place that we can establish outside the wilds would be certainly something we would consider. I would have to. I would imagine Skennis would like it particularly. I'll have to discuss it with them, of course, but if that is something that your people will accept, I can believe that my people will at least expect it to some extent. But
If you both would like to work it out, we can escort the children back to any houses and leave those that are from Kresk or Barovia here in the care of Father Lucian for now.
yes, it appears that my church is becoming a veritable orphanage these days. But at least a children's home.
Where's Father Lucian?
He's up here.
Because I just realized Katia technically hasn't met him yet. Not properly, at least.
Mm.
Yes.
I would like to meet Father Lucian, if that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he approaches the group as he looks over the children. It is a shame that so many are in this land do not have the true ability to feel, well, anything, but especially joy, sadness, love. I think that is perhaps the worst thing that the devil ever did, was to allow the creation of Solus.
I agree. We haven't met yet.
No,
My name is Katia. I'm with Misha and them.
I'm with,
It's
well, I'm
a friendly
Father
meeting.
Lucian Petrovich. You are always welcome in this church, child of Mother Night.
Thank you.
Or as the
I've heard a lot
sun
about
shines.
you. Good things.
I should hope so.
All good things.
Yeah.
I promise.
And I've told them plenty about you, Katia. They give you a wink. It's a playful wink.
Can I? Oh, have you?
But certainly nothing to raise the roof over.
Anyway, I
What?
just wanted to introduce myself. And, yeah. that is it. If you need any assistance at all, especially with clerical things, let me know.
I will keep that in mind. It is always good to have the aid of other skilled healers. Katia is very skilled, that's what I hear.
Thank you, Esmeralda.
She just smiles and gives you another big old wink.
Aster is willing to stay and keep an eye on the townsfolk to make sure that Zuleika is safe while she's in
Yeah.
town. You wouldn't want her to be jumped out of danger or
Yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
So if you the rest of everyone would like to go escort any children or whatever, Aster will
Yeah.
gladly make sure that
Katia would volunteer
she's
for
safe
the
here
warding the children, yeah.
and help
Yeah,
Irina and Miss Zuleika work any details out.
Maybe
Little
you should,
Lucian is busy training with Yeska.
Ooh. Esther, maybe you should introduce Zuleika to the good folk from the Blue Water Inn.
Ah. That may be worth our time, considering.
That would probably be a good place to have a discussion, and they will be perhaps the most open to this idea. And if we can get the innkeepers on side, then, and if we can get Blinsky on side, then that's pretty much everyone.
I
Of
can't see
importance,
Blinsky.
anyway.
I can't see Blinsky being a problem. That man will help.
If it's for joy, that man will do anything.
Yes.
Exactly. If it's no fun, then it's no Blinsky.
Looking at Lucian, is he still using the toy flail?
I believe
Yes,
he
he's-
is.
Yeah, he's training with Yeska, who has a toy shield and quarterstaff.
Octavian's going to sort of walk over with Misha and sort of go, don't you think it's time for them to have something to actually train with?
Now that I've got my sunflail, I'm considering
I was
passing
thinking,
on my actual flail to Lucian.
I was thinking more this. He'll pull out the whip that he got and sort of cut it down to length to a flail's length and hand that. And go, less likely to injure someone with that.
Oh no.
Well, that's why I've sort of approached you and done it sort of with my back to everyone, just sort of hand it. You know, you're less likely to hurt someone else compared to a metal ball and chain.
I mean, he goes, well, if I want to hurt someone, I've got this, and pulls out his dagger.
The dagger you gave him.
Yeah.
Yes, chink him.
Well,
Honestly,
yes.
Lucian has been very responsible. For a little
Yeah.
shit as a kid, he's very
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
I mean, I
Well-
mostly use it for injuring pies, but
I'm just thinking now you've got your longer, or your longer chain flail, whatever you want to call it. We've seen what you're like wanting to idolize you.
yeah, you would notice that some of his hair is even like styled upwards, almost to form two horns out of hair.
What?
Yeah.
So yeah, David will just hand Misha the whip he got and walk off and go. Just thinking it might be a bit safer than an actual flail.
Okay, I would drag the whip onto
Yep.
his sheet.
David's just gonna have a seat and read the tome.
This
Yeah,
being the
okay.
whip that you got from Bloody Bones.
Oh yes, but it's a weapon.
Okay, I am gonna be. What's the words? another word for smart, and instead of giving it to
In-
little Lucian, I'll give it to Father Lucian for safekeeping.
Ah.
Give
If
the
it's
father
In
in
case,
Father
instruction.
Lucian, that's-
in case of emergency, Father Lucian can give the silvered um, flail to little Lucian to protect the rest.
Okay, I have put the silvered flail on.
That's where consecrate
Um,
flail.
Yep.
Honestly, giving it to Father Lucian and like, Lucian is. I really like our double Lucians,
Yeah,
our triple Lucians. There's 3 of them. That's perfect.
yeah, the Holy Trinity.
Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Yes.
It really is, and that's completely unintentional as well.
It wasn't until you just said it. I was thinking, hold on, we got the priest, the father of the priest, you got the kid, and then the literal disembodied voice.
Yep.
And
Probably a
they're
spirit.
all they all have some form of flail on them now.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Well played, James.
Yep. Well played.
Completely accidental, but well played nonetheless.
Definitely not intended.
Yeah,
all
not
started-
intended
or-
at all.
It all started with a kid that is by pure coincidence called Little Lucian. Well, I already had that spirit called Lucian haunting me.
And then the father was also called Lucian, and I'm just like, I
Okay,
couldn't make it up.
It happened.
But yeah.
it had to be.
Okay. So so you're obviously Aster and Zuleika and Irina are going to go to the Blue Water Inn. Esmeralda will hand Katia some missing posters with the addresses of the family on them. Or
Oh, thank you. I'm sure their parents will be very happy to see them. Okay.
yeah.
Considering that there was enough care for missing posters to be made, I think they will care.
Though in
Let's get
some
going.
cases you would notice that the posters is written in Blinsky's handwriting.
Oh, Blinsky.
Oh, someone missed them.
I love Blinsky more now. You didn't have to do that. You don't have to.
I
you
love
don't have to-
you.
Mhm.
Let's go.
He'll do
I'm
what
sure he's
it takes to
anxious
make
to
the
go.
children happy.
Tarnish is gonna go over and start playing with Lucian and Yeska.
Yep. While Sadie just watches, hiding behind this little desk, watching them play. But yes, yeah, I will take you back, I guess, to the Valaki map, which has been updated. Welcome to the new Valaki map.
Oh. Ah, total darkness. We love it.
That is because I have not yet put your token onto it. Because I lost it again. And it's the old token that I could.
Oh, wow! I was not expecting this. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Oh, we've got an orphanage now.
Yep. There's officially St.
There's
Andrew's
so many
Orphanage.
places here. Like, there's so many more places. I love this map. Oh my god.
I love this map
Yeah.
too, and it's so detailed. Everything looks like a real village too.
Yeah. Yeah, it does.
Cracked anvil. Oh,
Wait, they got a bookstore now?
Is this like? I imagine that like this is the like they give us the
they have a
town map.
bookstore.
They have a bookstore now. Oh my god!
They have
They have a
they
bookstore!
have rebuilt the coffin shop.
They re-
Misha, Misha, we have to go to the bookstore. Misha, we have to go to the bookstore.
You've given us this map
Oh,
now,
no.
James. Like,
Yep.
it's
Where's the lake?
to the
Lake
north.
is outside
It's up to
town.
the north.
Outside of town. Okay.
Onwards to Lake Zarovich, out the north gate.
Ah. Oh, now I see that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny that it's named after his family.
Yeah.
Misha, can we go to the
Oh.
bookstore later? Hello?
I don't
Misha?
think. Misha. Say
You did.
you muted.
Yeah, he's got his mouth full.
Ah,
He's like, wait.
of Katia.
That was on the roof of the church.
Yeah, you're not there yet. Look, there's even Father Lucian's actual home. He doesn't live in the church anymore.
Oh, they bought it. They built it. They got it on my house. That's nice.
Yeah. We even see the Vistani camp to the south.
Dad.
So we can.
Hmm?
It's a bloody big town when you look at the scaling bar.
Yeah. Yep, 1 square equals 100 feet. Probably a actually more accurate size for the town, considering. Yeah. Well, feel free to explore, I guess, and go where you think these children would be.
I read that
But I don't
so
have-
All right,
wrong.
so
They
I have a
obviously
map. I have
are the
addresses.
sons of Walpole and Sons books.
Just up from there, it's Stefanovic's. I read that so wrong.
Mm.
The fun of it.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I didn't read it as that.
It's son of a bitch.
Yes,
Son of a bitch.
son of a bitch and sons.
I mean, technically, Strahd is a son of a bitch.
So the cart and the wheel, straight out. How many pubs are in this fucking place?
Apparently
Oh,
a
so
few
many
now.
pubs.
I mean, because I'm going to assume the straight arrow, the cart and the wheel are going to be pubs.
Mm.
Habandash, I'm going to assume, is going to be a tailor's, same as Endless Delight.
Valaki is so much more of a town now.
There's a place called Trapped Paw Supplies. Do you reckon it's a pet shop?
It's either that, or it's a hunting.
It's a
hunting lodge.
pet shop or a hunting lodge. It's going to be one of the two.
Probably a hunter lodge.
Yep.
Wait, they have Larnac Publications, so they've got a bookstore as well as a publisher.
That's what I was just thinking when I saw it.
I mean,
also
they
have
had-
an augury.
They have an augury. They have.
They have a
We're just-
cracked anvil.
We're just looking at this map now.
They've got
Yeah.
they've got a smithy in here.
They had to have a public.
Supplies.
They had to have publications before. They had flyers, so they had to have a publications like location.
That's
I thought
true.
they just had a
Reformation
bunch of
Center.
children trapped in a basement that were drawing those posters.
Oh, there's a herbal shop as well.
There's an
Wait,
herbalist
everybody
shop.
just said there's an herbal shop.
There's a hat. There's the Habandash.
Habandash. There's another. There's a clothes. Yeah, we got a clothes. Yes, a clothes shop.
Leathers, cart and wheel. Ooh. The town square.
Wait, Wayland's
The
hammer. So I'm
straight arrow.
assuming Wayland's hammer's another blacksmith.
It's two
Probably another
blacksmiths.
blacksmith.
A stockyard.
Coffin.
That's where we got fancy clothing.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is.
stockyard.
Bluto. Who's Bluto?
Oh, he's dead.
Yeah, Bluto was the person who was trying to sacrifice a child to the lake.
Oh,
ew, yeah,
oh,
no,
that one.
bye.
Yeah, bye.
Oh, there's a tower here.
What's a reformation center?
I think that was used by the mayor.
If it
I
is
think-
what I think, it shouldn't be in use anymore.
It might be
Isn't
where
it-
they're keeping people that they're trying to remove the.
It's if you're not happy enough, I believe that's where you were being sent
Hmm.
under the old
The old policies.
policy.
So a
Yes.
psych ward. Makes sense.
Sort of.
Sort
This
of.
is where Octavian killed half the town.
Yes.
This is where Octavian killed half
No. That wasn't Octavian. That was the Velociraptors that suddenly appeared in the middle of town square.
Oh yes, of course. It was the wild pack of velociraptors in
Yes.
Barovia.
Yeah.
Octavian doesn't have the ability to summon a wild pack of velociraptors. I don't know what you're talking about.
Not anymore. It doesn't. Thanks, wizards.
You shouldn't blame the wizards. Though it is probably all their fault anyway.
Do I blame the coast?
Maybe.
I love this map.
So I would follow the instruction of like the addresses to find said addresses. And we'll probably go to the closest home and, knock, knock, knock.
Well, I guess to be honest at this point, you could literally set anywhere on the map that you wish to go. Because I'm just going to allow you some freedom here.
Well, you want me just to make up a house that has the address?
Yeah.
That has an address? Okay.
I mean,
I'm
gonna be boring. I'm going to read the book, James, while this is all going on. There's not much Octavian can really do.
You could have read it on the way.
But yeah, you'd have been reading it sort of on the way here, and sort of you'll go to the tavern and read Blue Water Inn.
Here. Let's say right here.
Yeah, okay. Next to the publication, so let's drag the party token there.
And knock, knock, knock.
Who is it?
We are the mistaken. We have
What? You
your child.
knocked on the wrong door?
No. Have you lost a child?
Didn't get lost, got nicked or stolen. Guess the right word.
We have them.
Could you check
They-
if this is your child?
They open the door and there is a big burly man. What?
Is this your parent? Looks at the kid.
One of the children nods and goes, "Wait, that's little
Little Luke.
little Lucy." Because I said one was called Lucy. Oh, son of my life, you're back. Well, daughter of my life, but you know what I mean. And they give them a big hug, and the child hugs them back in a dutiful manner, but it's almost like robotic in nature. Like just.
I'm just glad they're loved.
They might be soulless, but I love them just the same.
Oh.
That is so sad.
Well, thank you. I don't have much I can give you as a reward, but
Please, no need for a reward. We're just
here's a pie I baked.
Ooh.
Misha.
I'm going to have to send this to the church.
Wolf meat
As in
pie.
right now.
We'll share it at the church. Oh no.
It's not pie flavor.
No. I tried making a pie flavor pie once, but it just didn't.
Oh,
It was just too crusty. Tasted like crab,
Crust.
weirdly.
Interesting.
Oh, dear.
Have you tried to make burgers out of that?
No, but who wants crab burgers? Actually, maybe
You could
pie
market them as
burgers.
you could market the crab burgers as a cake.
Maybe. Well, anyway, thank you again, adventurers. I'll try not to let them get stolen again. They do just kind of just stand there sometimes. Could use them as a
Let's
garden
not
gnome if I had a garden.
Oh.
Okay.
I wouldn't,
Let
but
us know if you need anything.
yeah, will do.
Have a good one.
Yeah, of course. Now, who would like to pick a location to go to next?
I mean, if we're
First,
here,
I'm
gonna.
going to give Argus a very important mission. Make sure the spy reaches the church, specifically Lucian.
Which one?
Both
The
of
little
them.
one.
They nod and give you a salute before rushing off carrying the pie above
And
their
make
heads.
sure
Just
it gets there intact.
No.
will do.
What we just forgot is there's a dragon there.
You see them jumping along rooftops and doing like weird parkour moves, throwing the pie in the air and catching it as they run.
Hey,
Like,
Argus
Somehow
can
manage to keep it
fly.
intact.
Argus
Yep.
can fly at 30 feet high.
Yeah, but not whilst carrying a pie. It's a big pie,
That's true.
family sized.
They kind of have to use their arms to hold it, so.
Yep.
David
And they
will
have to use
split
their arms to
off
fly, so.
from here and go over to the Blue Water Inn.
Okay. You're gonna
He'll sort of-
join.
Yeah, he will sort of head over that way and he'll find a quiet corner to read and have a drink.
Okay.
I'll buy you a drink for when you get there.
Greed will go with you because
Of course you would.
Yeah.
Agreed's buying the drinks then.
Greed gives me the vibe of him hating. You know what I mean? He's like, ugh, children, they're dirty.
and just sort of looks to Katia and Misha. Practice for later, and then walks off.
What?
What?
Oh.
What?
He's gone. He's walked
What?
away.
When a
He
man and a
was- he
woman
was-
love each other, and then he'll even walk away.
He was leaving. Basically, he's left.
Also, none of y'all
part-
know. No one knows.
No, but we can insinuate.
But they can
Okay.
assume the relationship based on the fact you keep
Yes.
holding his hand,
I did
and the
hold his
fact
hand.
that one of the werewolves said that they smelled of you.
Exactly. You're kind of messed up on that one.
I didn't mess up. That was Vastilia.
So,
Probably
so-
fucking with Misha.
That Sealy should have kept his mouth shut. I am going to murder that wolf.
so
at some
now
point.
it's just Katia and Misha alone with.
Aster and Misha?
Wolfer
No,
and the kids.
Aster's gone. Aster went to the inn, so it's just
Oh.
you with the kids. Hence why Greed
Oh,
said
it's just
practice
me.
for later.
Me and Misha. It's only just me and Misha with the kids and
Yeah.
Uber.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, one family down. That's 12 more to go.
Well, there's 8 children in total.
8 children.
But a few of them would be for Kresk. So I'll say you've got.
How many
3 more?
addresses does she give me?
You've got 3 more
many
addresses.
Okay, we have 3 more addresses, but I'm thinking that maybe we could put up some posters, you know, like, instead of it being a missing poster, it's a found poster, sort of thing. You know? If anyone knows who the child is, they might be able to, I don't know.
Well, since Blinsky made these posters, maybe he can make a poster for a children found. Please check the orphanage.
You keep mentioning a Blinsky.
That's still
I'm
there.
assuming it's the toy maker?
The shop.
You mentioned?
Yes.
We'll go to Blinsky's next. Okay.
Oh no, we're going to Blinsky.
Yep.
Okay.
Let
We're going to Blinsky's. Oh, the kids
Oh,
are gonna have
no.
a field day. The kids are gonna have a field day.
Not these kids. Thank
maybe if they
God
weren't
they're
soulless.
If they
Yeah, true.
weren't soulless, then we'd be having a hell of a day.
If anything
Oh,
that
we
can
have
bring
a-
a soulless joy, it'll be a Blinsky toy.
Oh no.
Exactly. Exactly. So these kids will have their field day.
Even Isaac was buying Blinsky toys.
Only
But they were
one.
creepy.
Yeah, but he was creepy with his one.
It was
That's creepy.
one very specific Blinsky toy, and it wasn't really a
Well-
toy.
Well,
It was a camouflaged alcohol flask.
One of them was.
Anyway,
well, that's
we
what
go to Blinsky's with the children.
Yes.
Ah, welcome, welcome. It always makes me happy to see customers. And I see you've got little ones.
Yeah, a
Hello,
lot of them.
Blinsky. Do you recognize any of these?
Of course. I drew and wrote the posters for them.
Is there any way you might be able to help us to get them to the parents quicker?
I can lend you Piccolo, he knows the way.
Oh, that'd be useful. Thank you.
Piccolo, he looks to Piccolo. Piccolo, help these little children find their way so they can be happy. The monkey cartwheels over and then seems to vanish and appears on Katia's shoulder.
Hi there.
Oh.
And they pat Katia on the head.
Hello.
It seems Piccolo likes you, white-haired one.
She looks to Misha. I'm a friend of Misha's. My name is Katia. It's a pleasure.
It is a pleasure to meet new customers, yes? Heroes, brave ones. I hope you and Misha make each other very happy.
Yes.
There is a faint twinkle in his eye.
I imagine when Katia's like, I imagine she like blushes, looks away like a fucking anime girl. Friend.
Right.
Oh. Speaking of happy, I believe we found one of your toys in a cave near Kresk. A small child is now playing with it, and they're very fond of it.
It is always good to make the children happy. It is my joy, my purpose, my raison d'etre.
But there is something regarding the toy that's I find curious.
Oh,
How did it? It looks like me, and it changed when I changed appearances.
you found one of my hero dolls.
Wait, one of your? There's more.
Of course. They're a line that I helped my master make a long time ago. Said to take the supposedly imbued with magic to take the form of heroes when they arise nearby.
So, everyone in our group has a doll?
Perhaps it depends how much of a hero you are.
I mean, that's all we do, so...
Then if you find them, you'll find out. And won't that make you happy with the surprise?
store's massive.
Oh, it is.
Hmm.
Wow.
Be careful of that stand. I believe that is where one of the cursed objects was stored.
I have checked most of my wares. I believe there are no more cursed ones. Or at least none that are on the public stool. He glances back towards the back room. That teddy bear knows what they did.
Teddy bear? Oh no.
Do not worry. He is now a teddy bear.
So I'm guessing with the vampire dolls, it's
Yes.
the vampire.
Yes. Though that vampire doll isn't there because technically Octavian has that.
Well, I see there's like another one, and there's like another like here.
Yeah.
Here. There's a werewolf.
Some of them are the brides as well. There also appears to be some brains with legs here.
Mm.
Katia wouldn't really have any toys growing up. Or I guess I should ask, what do you think kind of toys she would have been given, you know? I imagine she was mostly just given books to read. And
Books to read.
maybe a doll.
I would imagine
Like a doll.
you were giving a doll because the others were giving dolls, but it wasn't so much as a play thing, but as a restraint thing to like train them not to injure people by using the doll. You know, like where
Don't hurt a baby.
like yeah.
Especially them being the other girls being werewolves, they were stronger than they thought they were.
Yeah.
You have seen the heads of many dolls and the insides of many dolls, Katia. In fact, a small pile of fluff here gives you some PTSD.
I imagine maybe at a point she did have a doll of hers. Maybe she had a name and everything. Honestly, Katia seems like the kind of kid to always carry the doll with her. Like when she was little.
Yeah.
But knowing with how she was bullied, I imagine that toy eventually got destroyed.
Yeah, it ended up at the bottom of the well.
Yeah. Probably by Olga or one of them.
Yeah. And they were hoping you would go down after it, but you never did.
Of course not. I don't know. There's like this sort of like bittersweetness to this shop for her. Because she never really had a toy as a kid other than a doll. But even then, that doll was ripped away from her. So I feel like her eyes kind of linger on the dolls a bit more. I imagine it was probably like a doll just like, these teddy bears,
Yeah. Maybe a wolf plushie.
Oh, yeah. Maybe.
Aww.
There's a rocking horse here which reminds you of Bucephalus.
Yeah. I was actually thinking about the rockin' horse that I've seen in
The Wizard of
Was
the
it the
Wines.
Wizard of the Wine? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, next time that horse is gonna sleep.
Piccolo claps his hands together and points towards the door as if eager to get the children home.
All right.
He's hopping between these two stools. And then he hops onto Misha's head and holds onto their horns and tries to steer them.
Yes! We'll be back later to look around some more.
They nod. And I shall return you back to the map of Barovia. No, not the map of Barovia, the Velaki map, sorry.
Bye,
Bye.
Blinsky. Nice to meet you.
Bye-bye. May all your days be happy.
You too.
Well, if they weren't, it would not be Blinsky, because if it's no fun, it's no Blinsky.
Happiest man in all Barovia, right there, huh?
Yeah, Piccolo begins
Yeah.
leading you over towards Davanovich and Sons. Walking you painfully past the bookshop.
Misha has to be like, no, come on. We can look at it later.
Yeah.
First, drop the kids. Drop the kids.
Okay, I'm going.
Yeah. And what I'm going to say is, just to speed things up a little, you managed to get the kids back. The rewards are mainly minor food items. They don't have much of value,
A
but
lot
they're
of
very
cheerful
grateful.
reunions, I'm assuming.
Yeah. From the parents, but not from the children. And
Delighted to hear the children are loved anyway.
yeah. But I think that is where I'm going to end tonight's session, and we'll pick up the meeting in the Blue Water Inn next week.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Sounds good.
thank you everyone for watching. Thank you everyone for playing. We will be back next week, same time, same place, same faces, same voices.
Channel.
Possibly with
Same
extra
faces.
voices if Cam turns up. And of course, join us tomorrow for Icewind Dale,
Woo!
Friday for the Temporal Tower with the Roll for Story main group, Sunday for the Icewind Trekkers back in Icewind Dale again, Monday for Jumping Junipers, and as I said, we'll be back on Tuesday. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.